Welcome back to part 2 of our video series of learning how to make box cushions through Sailrite on a sailboat. This is where I left you last week, where I had some of the cushion covers made and was showing what they should look like. This week we're going to go into the foam and how to make the irregular shaped cushion with Sailrite's help. Follow along. Our foam has arrived, so we're trying to get it back to the boat. 5 large boxes. There's balance up there, and we're walking down a pathway. There's the boat. Guess we'll just set these in the cockpit. Okay, got it all on board. All stacked here till I get ready to start cutting foam.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for.
Okay, so you see in the background I have a cushion done, and then I've cut the foam for the bottom piece, and here's its fabric. So stuffing these is quite interesting. So I'm going to see if you can watch me stuff one. Usually it takes 2 of us. So we'll see how this goes, especially with this 5-inch. I haven't tried a 5-inch foam yet. It's quite the process getting it all in. 5-inch just does not flex like the 3-inch foam. It's definitely a wrestling match. Dwight suggests to take the end out and bend the other way. So there we go. Have to work in all the corners. Too long. So I'm going to trim down this foam. As you see, I've got it marked here on top and then on this side. So hopefully I can make it cut straight. We're just using a kitchen electric knife. It doesn't make a perfectly straight cut, but it doesn't really matter once you stuff it in this fabric. Try stuffing it again. The idea is definitely for them to be tight. Just gotta work all your corners as much as you can before you zip it up. At least I found that works better. Just keep working your way around till you get it all where it's supposed to be. And get her all zipped up, and voila! There. It's all in place. These are nice and firm cushions. They're the high density foam, 44 ILD. So they don't give a whole lot. They will probably over time, but we wanted something very firm to start with. This next section here I will have to template off of the existing cushion because it has this corner to it and that little notch. So we've got to template the foam and then we can do the fabric from there. I'm going to use the existing cushion to mark what I'm doing is marking. I'm going to cut this old cushion and that way I can use that cushion to template all this round part, and then I can make material from there. Since we know this is 22 deep no matter what, before I start my template I'm going to go ahead and get this cut to 22 inches deep. So we set and we just mark our, trying to make sure we're not pulling hard against the foam. And I do this to try to help make sure that I make straight cuts. So we're ready to cut that part. This is not easy to cut a straight line with a cushion line. I have a pretty good dip in it here. Alright, we have one little dip in it, but we'll flip that around and let it be maybe this outside corner. Now for cutting this in two. Probably need to take it out of the fabric before I cut it, don't I? So I'm not cutting through zippers, and because the cushion's what I need to template. By the way, on a boat in tight spaces, this is really difficult. We have all this foam and material in the way. So, push this back out of the way. So now I have a line. You can see how old this foam was. It's awful yellow. So, and they had an edge over the top to give it a rounded roll, where ours is going to be square. So now we'll get this all marked all the way around and get it cut. So we've done this right. Get you out of the way. You should lay in there. Ta-da. It worked. So now I'll use this one laid on this to make my template. So this is what we're marking, is this funny shape. So I'll cut that and we'll test fit it and go from there. Okay, we have our two bottom put in here, and this is our last bottom on this side, but it slopes up there, so we've had to cut it out, which was a template process. And so then I'll use that foam to make the fabric for this one, and then the same thing, this one here we notched, and I'll make the fabric out of it. So I have this piece here, and that says fabric, so I'll get it in, and it goes here, and then we have to template these two connectors here, because there's a slope, and you can see that on the old ones. On our old one here, you can see the slope, the angle, so we're going to have to template those. So that's what we're currently working on. Or height. Cut my foam to height. These are the original backs I just have set up here, and as you can see they angle miter for that corner. So I'm fixing to use that one to template this cut, and then then I'll use this one to template the next one. And from there, then I can calculate my fabric and material. So we will take this one off, get it out of the way, and lay this one down. We want to match our end good, and come down here. And basically draw us a line, because it's more than what the angle cut would be, and put it in here and see what it looks like and see if I can match up the other one, because if they're actual rectangles, cutting the fabric and sewing is easier. So we're going to try that and see what it looks like. If it doesn't work, I can back up and cut my angle. This one I can leave rectangle, but that one is going to have the slope, because if I put the square up to it up here at the top, let me show you. I put another square one to it, it leaves that gap, so it's got to have the angle. So I will just template off of this one. Other back piece with the angle cut. So now it's time to go back to cutting fabric so that we can get all these wrapped. So that's the next step. Okay, this is my irregular piece. Sailrite recommends you use a Durascrim and some glue to sticky this to make your template. I don't have the Durascrim or the glue, but I did have this shrink wrap that came with the foam. So I've used it and duct tape to basically glue it so I can template it. So we have to take each of these corners, and he said we have to match the foam and mark. And then you want to mark your corner, top corner, down through here. And just work our way around. Drawn, we're supposed to remove the plastic from it. So since mine's taped, I can't remove the tape from the plastic. So I'll fold my tape over so it doesn't stick on everything else. To sit here, and our lines we drew around the top edge, we're gonna mark those all the way around with a straight edge. So I'm just also remarking my corners. Make sure they got marked well. This would be easier also if I was not on a boat and had a table to work off of. But you know, boats all present their challenges to do work. So we just do that all the way around. Okay, once we get all our lines drawn on here, then it's a matter of we got to cut down these lines. And this will make our template for our fabric. So I got to sit here and cut it all out. I need to get my good scissors for cutting. Oh yeah. Those were my old scissors that we use for cutting everything. These are my sewing scissors. I'm sure all of you all have the same thing. You have good scissors, bad scissors, or ones that you're willing to abuse. Maybe that's the word for it. So we just gotta cut this line all the way around. Then I can cut the fabric. So it should be interesting. This is my first time I've done these box cushions for the last couple of days, but I have not ever done an irregular cushion, so this shall be interesting. Now my tutorial did not tell me what to do with my inside corner, which is what this spot is. So I am just going to kind of cut my way around it, because I don't know. I'll have to figure that out when I get to it. Now I have a template to cut my fabric with. So that's pretty cool. Other than this inside corner, I'm not real sure what to do with it. So now we're ready to get some fabric. So this is my irregular cushion. Flip this up and back. It has this notch in it. The rest of it is square down at that end. So I did what it said to template it, but it did not give me instructions for how to do this inside corner. So I have this inside and outside corner I've got to figure out. And then this one's got to come up a little higher. This one definitely has to come up, notch up a little higher so that I can sew it. So we've got to make some marks and stuff to figure this out, which is going to be interesting for me. So what I've done is went down and marked my bottom line that needs to be trimmed. Now I got to trim up each of these corners around through here, and then I can start sewing it together and hopefully it all fits. So let's get it trimmed back up, we'll get it sewed and then see how it fits over the top. Okay, got all my corners recut, ready to sew together. So we'll get all these corners sewed together, and like I said, I'm still not sure about this inside corner. I'm hoping that once it's all tight, it'll just kind of form. So we'll see. As you can see, the notch is in it. Comes out, comes around and swoops around. Came out pretty good. Was definitely a struggle. Excuse the mess. I'm still got a couple of cushions to do, but pleased with this one, as odd as it was that it came out like this. And there it is with its back on it. One more to go and we'll be done and get everything cleaned up. As you can see, the project is all done. Looks really good. It is by far not perfect, but we are very happy with it. They're very comfortable. That's our L section, and the templates worked on it to get it all set. It's very comfortable. And as you can see in the corner here, I got my angle and made that tight. This was very challenging for me, well outside of any capabilities I had, but I seemed to learn and pick up quickly. And this is the other side with its irregular cushion. And it is all done and finished and provides a great napping spot. So overall, we are pleased with our new cushions and probably will do more. This took over a period of a week to get complete. None of this would have been possible without Sailrite's tutorial videos. Unfortunately, the beautiful salon cushions caused me some personal damage, and I stretched or pulled some tendons and ligaments in my shoulder, so I spent a week and a half in a sling. But it's all good. Thank you for watching. Music by Epidemic Sound. Video edited with Wondershare Filmora Pro. And be sure to like, subscribe, and get notified about our YouTube channel. And follow us on Facebook and Instagram. See you soon.